Hey, we're back. So it's Sunday and we had another episode of Married at First Sight. Did you guys watch? I mean, I felt like this episode was like a filler episode where there isn't much content and then they just kind of do a whole lot of recap so that they fill up the time for the show because, like, an hour is quite a long time. But anyway, it was okay. The couples are still in their marital apartments, and then they've now received the eviction notices. I think one couple admitted that they looked for a place, and they were going to move into the place, but we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, so right off the bat, Tammy and the wife, I don't know. Do they tell I'm sure some of it is definitely production because then they want them to talk about other couples. Because, like, why are you worried about what other people are doing? So, I don't know. And I don't understand why Tammy feels like he needs to give his opinion about someone else's wife. That's not your wife. Can you just sort out your issues in your marriage? But I understand. I mean, it's a show, so they do want a bit of drama. So they're sitting by the kitchen, and Zitobile is busy making something to eat while Tammy is marking some script or something. I'm not sure, like some paperwork going on. So they talk about Dee and Kuzo. So Tammy says that he feels that Dee speaks over Kuzo, and Kuzo only feels that he can communicate when it's outside, when he's with them, because when they're together. I'm like, sir, where are you when all of these conversations are happening? I think Kutu is like, one of those mellow guys that just, it's always like it's a straight line. It's not, we don't go up or down kind of people. But anyway, so he asked like how they are now. And Z said, no, they said that they're fine. And then they invited to dinner that night. And Tammy says that, actually, he doesn't like burgers because he doesn't like any processed food or anything that's being fried. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this guy, is there anything that Zitobile does that is right by Tammy, honestly, at this point? Because he somehow just finds something that she is doing that's not like in line with what he wants. But anyway, they have a light-hearted conversation on how when she goes to his home, I guess, like in Elokshini, what are they going to do? Like, because he says that there's only Shisanyama and Kawash. So Z says, no, then we're just going to go and wash the car. And this guy just says, no, oh no, oh, you could be cooking. And then just like, oh, time. And in all honesty, there's nothing wrong with cooking with the grannies. Because, I mean, you're only going to see them once. You could do that. There's no need to now... There's no need to oppose everything that is being said. Sometimes you can just like, let it flow. Just let it flow off the duck's back. And then we see Sebenzile. Sebenzile is with his friend. And I think I mentioned this on my last video that, like, Sebenzile and Boitepo are my favorite couple. And right now, this vibe that he's giving, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Like, if Sebenzile and if Sebenzile says no to Boitepo on decision day, I'm writing it down. I'm sorry. My broom is ready. I am so writing it down because he says that no, he's emotionally, physically tired. He's exhausted by this whole thing. I'm like, sir, what do you mean? On one hand, I obviously understand. I mean, I'm sure this thing is really emotionally draining, exhausting, because between you, like, having to juggle your work schedule together with, like, the cameras being there all the time. Okay, yeah, we know they're not there all the time, but, like, most of the time they have to do shooting and then they have to do all this. So he says that no, he goes to work and 9 to 5, and then weekends also working, and then Boitsepo works from home, so he feels like, Yana, he doesn't have time to be checking for furniture for their new apartment. And since Boitepo is home, working from home, then she could do that. And I think like something, he says it like what Boitepo said is that, no, she feels like she's doing this alone, which I understand. I don't know why. People, guys, people that work from home are also working. Just because whether you go to the office doesn't mean that like if somebody is working from home, then they have all the time in the world. They're also at home and working, Like, and if your lover is expressing, if your wife is expressing that they feel like they're doing this alone, that's nothing. That's not a big deal. You could say, okay, how can I help? How can I make this like easy for you? What would you like for me to do? It's not like a major thing, but okay. Also, we are not with him like 24 hours, so we don't know what goes on when the cameras are off. We are merely basing our opinions on what we see. So there's also that to take into consideration. So he seems like he's unsure. And spoiler alert, I don't know, I've seen on on the lady's Instagram that she's now in Cape Town. So I don't know. I don't know if they actually made it. Actually, now, last week I thought that there were two couples that were going to make it, but this week I think no one is going to make it. And if somebody makes it, then at least I'll be happy. I'll be happy at that time. And, it made me pleasantly surprised because as it stands after this today's episode, I don't know if anybody's going to end up together. So most of the participants just meet with their friends, discussing how the whole experience has been and if they know what they're going to do on decision day. And I feel like most of them just expressed doubts more than anything. There wasn't like somebody that I get it. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just too understanding. I understand that like they have to say something without saying too much, so that they don't ruin it for us for next week. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what's happening next week. And then three of the couples, they went for dinner, except for Makumu and Tamang due to work scheduling conflicts. And it was cute, shame. They went for dinner, and they got the red box. As soon as that red box appeared, I'm like, you know what? If it's one of those stupid questions that they ask, and then like that will cause conflict within the couples, I'm gonna scream. But thankfully, this time it wasn't anything like that. It was actually cute. It was their wedding vows, their wedding photos, and they got to reminisce and like say their vows again. Oh, that was really nice to see. It was like heartwarming. They also had some sort of game to play, like some kinky game that they needed to play, where you roll the dice and, whatever was on the card. But none of the couples played that. I mean, obviously, because they're in public. Oh, and the couples were also offered like an apartment to stay in without the crew, without filming, just to get to know each other outside the cameras. And three of the couples took that challenge. No challenge, they took the offer, except for D and Kutso. I can't wait for next week to see who stays together. I so wish they did like a 2-hour finale, so then we would have found out everything this week. But we're gonna have to wait. So due to time limits, I'm gonna cut this here. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe I'll do a part 2.